Good morning, I'm Chris Scherk and I'm the coordinator for the Toronto CrimeStoppers program. CrimeStoppers is a partnership between the police, the media, and the public. I thank you all for coming out this morning because we do need you to get that message to the public. So what we're looking at today, 42 Division approached us in regards to a series of street robberies that they've had. Some of them had a TTC component in that victims were robbed getting off of the bus or near bus stops. We were able to partner with 42 Division and the TTC to make a reenactment video. Serves two purposes. It's an appeal for information, which is the core purpose of CrimeStoppers. We're always there to take information. It's always anonymous. You never need to go to court. But it also serves a crime prevention and education function. Gerry Heaney is the Detective Sergeant at 42 Division. I'm going to invite him up for a little bit to speak about a little bit about the robberies that have been happening in 42 Division, a little bit about what the public can do to make themselves less of a target.
Thank you very much. I'm Detective Sgt.Gerry Heaney from the Toronto Police Service 42 Division. I'm here today to talk about a rash of street robberies that we've had in the past year in 42 Division in Scarborough. Although robberies are down overall in our jurisdiction, the violence in the robberies is increasing, with more weapons being used and the violence perpetrated a lot more violent. There's firearms being used, there's knives being used, and there is serious injuries happening as a result of the robberies after the suspects have gained the valuables that they were looking for. So I am asking the public to not only assist us with old robberies in the past year, unsolved crimes, but also anyone that they're aware of that is committing robberies now, either to call CrimeStoppers or to contact 42 Division at 416-808-4204. I'm also, it's incumbent upon citizens to protect themselves, to be aware of their surroundings, to not carry all of their personal identification, cell phones, as well as valuables in one location. A bag, a purse, keep a cell phone in a pocket. What we have happen is people are violently robbed and are unable to contact us afterwards. We're partnering with the TTC today, as there is a trend where people are targeted either leaving the TTC, or it's a crime of opportunity where someone has a valuable cell phone, a tablet, or some type of electronic device that someone else on the bus has seen. And as a result of wearing headphones or distraction on their devices, they are taken while the suspect gets off the bus or when they leave the bus. Also, in some of our purse snatch robberies, there has been a grotesque amount of violence in some of the cases where some of the women with the purse snatches have given up their purses, or they've been dragged and seriously injured, and even a couple of cases concussions and serious head injuries. So it's imperative. Also, parents out there, the majority of our robberies are committed by males between the ages of 16 and 25. If you have children and they're coming in possession of valuables such as cell phones, the iPads or any other tablet devices, and they're telling you that they're getting it from their friends, I would question that, because in many of these cases where we have had solved some of these robberies, we've found that the individuals were in a large possession of quantity of several devices from other robberies. So question your children, question who they're with. Also, when people are leaving the transit, or if they're going through a neighborhood, make sure you're in a well-lit area and you have a plan to be picked up by someone or stay in a well-lit area. In some of these cases, people are unsuspecting as they're not paying attention and they're in a very remote, isolated area with no natural lighting. Thank you. Next up is Mark Cousins from the Toronto Transit Commission.
Thank you, Jerry. Good morning. Mark Cousins, Head of Transit Enforcement for the TTC. I'm just going to take a few minutes to echo some of the things Jerry said and to add some information that is transit specific. So as you know, many crimes are crimes of opportunities. So we want to make ourselves the most undesirable targets as we can to criminals. This can be done by walking with confidence and being aware of your surroundings. Don't become distracted by those electronic devices that we're all tuned into all day and all night long. Keep valuables out of sight. Keep the zippers and fasteners on any of your bags closed, and keep your bags in sight at all times. If you see someone or something suspicious, report it. See something, say something. can report it to a TTC employee, a TTC special constable, or you can contact the Toronto Police Service. Use the emergency alarm on subway trains if you need police, fire, or medical services. And as a reminder, we have a request stop program at the TTC. What that means is between 9 p.m. and 5 a.m., all customers, male or female, traveling alone, can make a request of the bus to stop at a location other than the scheduled bus stops. So on the route, between stops may be a safer place for you to get off, somewhere where you feel a little bit more safe. You can request that the bus stop there. As long as it's safe for the bus to do so, exit through the front doors and you're on your way. I would encourage all the listeners to go to www.ttc.ca, select Riding the TTC, and then select Traveling Safely, where there's a lot more tips on traveling safely on the TTC. Reminder at the TTC, your safety is our priority. Thank you for your time. Chris?
Thanks, Mark, and thank you, Gerry. We appreciate the partnership we have with the Toronto Police. We appreciate the partnership we have with the TTC. I'd also be remiss if I didn't mention thanks are definitely due to the Toronto Police Video Services for helping us put the video together. That video can be viewed on the Toronto CrimeStoppers YouTube page. It went live as of 10:25 this morning. I've also provided a high-definition version to the media assembled this morning. If we ran out, I can certainly make more available to you. But it can certainly be viewed on our YouTube page. It also can be viewed on our mobile app, which is available for any of the smartphone platforms, being Android, iPhone, and BlackBerry. I just want to close out with reminding everyone how you can contact Toronto Crime Stoppers. If you go to 222tips.com, there's an anonymous submit a tip button. You can text via a smartphone to crimes and for people such as my father, you can just pick up the phone and call 416-222-TIPS, which is 222-8477. So there's technological versions out there for people who prefer that, and we still have the old-fashioned telephone for people that don't. So I thank you all for coming. I know Gerry and Mark are going to make themselves available for any further questions you might have, and I'll be available as well. So thanks again for coming. We really can't do it without you, and we appreciate you showing up. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That concludes today's conference, but we will have a question one-on-one if you'd like. Thank you. And if I could just ask everyone to keep a clear view between him and the TV so that TOC can grab it for a second, and you if you need it.
Got it. Chris, sir, hang on, don't cross the front door. Do you know business card? If you want. Yeah. In the order of speaking. CrimeStoppers Re-enactment is multiple robberies combined into one. Most of the cases for these suspects are between 16 and 25, and in the majority of the cases, it's two or more individuals that are responsible.
So they were just together, like you had two on a bus, following them?
Two on a bus, or two outside the bus, or any of the robberies in general. The majority of them are two or more people.
And because there's a trend here with more violence in the past year, do you think that these different pairings will relate?
In some of the cases, we've seen the pairings are related. Also, in some of the cases, we think it's a crime of opportunity where someone's unsuspecting, walking down the road, and not aware of their surroundings, so they make themselves an easy target for these crimes.
Can you tell us a bit, the video shows obviously some aggression, it doesn't show
some of these robberies, there's been knives or guns put to people's heads. There's been force used to get purses from women's shoulders, where they'd be knocked on the ground, they'd be kicked in the body as well as the head. And the violence increasing for the amount of robberies we're seeing in 42 Division.
And are they related in correlation with people not giving over their possessions? Do they violence sort of, if you hand over your bag, they run away? Or are they just sort of arbitrary kicks?
In some cases, people cannot give their purse or bag because it's not on their shoulder and it's not able to them off where they're attacked from behind. So it's nothing that they've done other than they can't get their purse or bag off and the people violently struggle with them and assault them over the front.
And we've had any injuries?
We've had concussions, we've had multiple scratches and bruising of the body, and in some cases, some of the victims are older, and that's been less than
Just to ask you that, if the victim, like the suspects are, within a range range, these women are typically women, sorry, the victims are typically women and they're typically older. Can you tell us about their demographic?
In the purse robberies, obviously,